Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I have an extremely exciting review. Like, finally. So, the product that I'm going to be reviewing today is the new Maybelline The Burgundy Bar Eyeshadow Palette. So, this does retail for $9.99. I personally purchased mine on Amazon site, so I will leave the link down below if you guys want to pick this up for yourself. It should be on Ulta site fairly soon, but for now it is on Amazon. So here's how the packaging looks. You guys can see there's a little window right here, so you could see all the shades that are included in here. And the quality of this eyeshadow palette is pretty nice. It's basic plastic, nothing too major, not too cheap, but not too luxurious either. And also for reference, this palette is made in Italy, which is wonderful. Once you open it up, this is how the interior part of the palette looks. Like I mentioned, there's just this little like window here so you can see these shadows. So there is no mirror, which I'm fine with. It comes with this dual-ended little brush situation thingy, which I don't find to be so useful, but you know, there are people who do use it, so it's okay that it's included in here. I just wish they would make it like better quality, but there's that. And then we have our 12 different eyeshadows that are included in here. So here's how the eyeshadows look. There are 12 different shades. In here we are getting 2 mattes, which is this shade and this shade. We are getting 1 satin finish, which is this one. And then the remaining 9 shades are metallic-y shimmer shades. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off with swatches first, and then I'll discuss with you guys what I personally think about this, if I think it's worth it to pick up, if it's as shitty as their other eyeshadow palettes, or if it's a step up, and the whole 9 yards pretty much. So let's get started. Alright, so here's how these shades look close up. You guys can see that was with pretty much 2 swipe swatches each. You get a nice selection of like champagne-y type of colors, and then mainly burgundy shades as well, hence why the palette is called the Burgundy Bar Palette. So as you guys saw from these swatches, they do swatch really nicely. I will say right off the bat, if you guys were contemplating on this, if you're curious to know if this is the same quality as their other like palettes, this is much better. The other palettes that they did release in the past, I thought that they were okay, some of them more than others. There were some palettes that I only liked 1 or 2 shades from, but with this palette, I will say probably 10 out of 12 shades are bombs away. The other 2 are very workable, so still very good, but not as good as the other shades. You know what I'm saying? This is actually the palette that I'm wearing on my eyes today, and this look really like took me maybe like 5 minutes. I pretty much put this matte brown in the crease, built that up. Then I put a little bit of this in the crease as well, even though it is more like a shimmery metallic shade, and then I put this on the lids. I really love how the look came out. I think it's really nice, deep, and sultry. It has like a plummy vibe to it, and it looks good. I feel like it brings out my eyes as well. So first off, let's start off with the mattes. These are the 2 mattes that are included in this palette. I really did enjoy the mattes in here. We have this one, which is like a taupey color, which leans a bit more cooler in tone, and then we have this one, which is like a, I would say, burgundy brown plummy type of color. Those are the only 2 mattes that are included in here, which is kind of a downer for me because I feel like you need at least a good 2 or 3 other like matte shades to put in the crease to build up the color and the intensity. So if you typically go in with a matte in your crease, this is probably the first shade you're gonna go in with, and then this is the next one. So I would have loved if they would have included maybe 1 or 2 other matte shades so we can build up the crease a little bit more, but that's what's included in here. With that being said, I still think that it's pretty easy to build up these colors. So if you wanna just, you know, take this shade, build it up a little bit, and then go in with something else to create a lighter look, you can do that. Or if you wanna like build it up and create a deep intensity with this color, you can do that as well. So just working with this palette, it is very workable, but I would have appreciated if they would have put, you know, 1 or 2 other mid-tone matte shades in here so it could be easier for everyone, you know. Then we have this shade right here, which is the satin shade, which I think is beautiful and perfect. It's just this stunning pearly white type of color. Has a little bit of like a baby sheen to it. You can put it under your brow bone or highlight your inner corners with it, which I found was really nice. It's not too much, but it's not super subtle either. So I really really do appreciate that. That was like a definite plus of this palette. Then everything else in here is pretty much like a metallic shimmery shade. And when I say like shimmery, not like overloaded with shimmer, just like little specks of shimmer here and there. My two favorite metallics in this palette is this one, which is what I use today, and then this one as well. Just super nice, extremely buttery, and applies so nicely on. The two that I will say didn't perform as consistent as the other ones were this shade right over here. I feel like it had a little bit of a drier feel to it, and then this shade did apply nicely, but it has like a nice amount of like flakiness and like pieciness to it. But besides for those two, the other like metallic shimmery shades were pretty much on par with, you know, the other metallic shimmery shades. So I did like the other ones a lot. This palette in general does have a little bit of kick up, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. And then also when you apply the shades, you will see a little bit of fallout on your cheeks, but nothing too major. You just wipe it off and you're good to go. I also wanted to say that these were very easy to use, just kind of like a 1, 2, 3 type of thing. I think that this palette could definitely create really deep, sultry, burgundy, plummy type of looks as I have on today. But you can definitely go pretty light with it, with like the lighter champagne-y, golden-y type of colors as well. If you're looking for a lighter type of look, like a lighter everyday kind of look, you could create that with this. One con about this palette is I feel like the dividers between all these shades are on the same level as the eyeshadow. So basically, if you swipe your finger literally like across, you're gonna go through every single shade, which I feel like could be a little bit annoying, because when I swatched it, I had to be super precise. Like, okay, put my finger only in here. And as much as I don't mind doing that, you know, like just keeping my finger in the designated spot, I just wish they would have made the dividers a teensy bit taller, so that, you know, accidentally, if I'm just not looking for a second, if I'm like swatching it, I'm not gonna go into like 3 other shades. So that's definitely a little bit of a con. If you swatch one, you might, you know, swatch all of them at once and have like a messy ass palette. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. On the back of the palette, it shows little diagrams of how you can actually use this little palette. So you can use them in duos. So you can use these two for an eye look, these two, these two, these two, these two, and these two. You can also use them as trios, so these 3 shades, these 3 shades, these 3, and then these 3 shades, and then you can use them as quads as well, so these 4, and these 4. I don't know if that would be super simple for one to create, because in some of like the duos, trios, and quads, there isn't always a matte. But if you're one who doesn't necessarily always wear a matte shade in the crease, then this might, you know, work out for you in that specific way, where you could use it in a quad, in a trio, or in a duo. In regards to creasing, I didn't find any creasing at all. This is without a primer. I typically don't wear eye primer. I just, you know, prime my lids with concealer, and they applied beautifully, 1, 2, 3, and pretty good. I didn't find any creasing throughout the day at all, and they did last a really long time. I do love that they're super pigmented and opaque, because it could suit pretty much every single skin tone, which I feel like is wonderful, because it is for everyone. I could see myself going traveling with this. I could see myself using this if I want like a plummy type of look, or a burgundy type of eyeshadow look, or if I'm going for an old drugstore look, I would totally pull this out, compared to other Maybelline palettes that I've had in the past, where I didn't want to gravitate towards them, because they honestly just did not do it for me. With this palette, I could come up with multiple amount of combinations and be satisfied and happy with the look that I create. So I really do love this. I definitely think it is worth the $10. This is hands down the best Maybelline palettes that they've ever released. So if you guys were curious about this, I would definitely recommend this if you're looking for something that leans more towards the burgundy plummy side, but also has really nice champagne-y type of shades. This might be something you'd be interested in. And then also, if you were looking for a cheaper alternative to like the ABH Modern Renaissance eyeshadow palette, this is definitely not a dupe. But you could create really beautiful burgundy eyeshadow looks with this that you could create with the ABH eyeshadow palette. Different looks, of course, but kind of in the same family. It's about time Maybelline is coming out with something like this, because Wet n Wild is stepping up their game like drastically, so everyone else must too. And I'm so happy to say that this really exceeded my expectations. I'm so proud of Maybelline. Like, I really like this a lot. Definitely let me know if you guys would like me to recreate this eyeshadow look, or if you guys want me to, you know, use this in a get ready with me, because I would be more than happy to do so you guys can see how this applies on the actual eyes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. If you were curious about the Burgundy Bar eyeshadow palette, definitely let me know if you guys are going to be picking this palette up for yourself. It's 10 bucks, so not super expensive, and I will say the quality is very much so there. So I hope you guys enjoyed once again, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.